just prior to the 2019 North American International Auto Show in Detroit, Michigan, Ford Motor Company invited a very select few auto journalists to an undisclosed location to see the 2020 Ford Mustang Shelby Cobra GT500 and get to meet Melvin Betancourt, the designer of the Cobra, and also see some classic Cobras.
And I'm here to tell you about my baby, right? So, when you look at the car, it's all about, wow, the one you're looking at right now is has the carbon package on it. The base car is a little bit different, but there's nothing to say no about it. I'm going to start from the front, and the first thing that you will see this is that when you park it next to a GT350, the first thing you're going to see is that the grill opening is almost double. And the reason why is because the first time Carl came to me, he said, hey, I have all these different intercoolers that you have to put in front of this car. I go, you're crazy, get out of here, right? But again, we knew that we had to work together, and we knew that everything we did was to drive the performance of this car. So that'd be the first thing that you would see. And then the second is the angular front to my beautifully sculpted hood. And by the way, this louvered hood is the biggest louvered hood in Ford history. But it's there to do the job, right? So we suck the air in and it exits out, which is great. That I wanted to add a lot of voluptuous curves, complement the rear. The haunches is very important in Mustang. So he got me a SMC hood. It's very low density and it's light. So that gave me the ability to go through and see the sculpture that you see. So at the end of the day, the hood speaks power, right? Drive you guys to the back before I get into the side. So come on back here. The first thing you're gonna see back here, and I challenge you guys to get down here, is that it's an all-new diffuser, right? And it's a new composite material that basically manages thermal because those tips get really, really hot. The next thing you're gonna see is those tips are 5 inches. So from the rear, you're gonna know that it's a Shelby, right? You see the snake? The snake, it is the biggest snake in the history of Shelby. Same as the front. So my little tidbit on that is that when you see the car in the rearview mirror, you're gonna see this face that's angry and is asking you to get out of the way. It's gonna push you out of the way with the snake. And if it passes by you, you're gonna see it on the fender. And if it passes by you again, you're gonna see it in the rear. So without a doubt, you know what it is. On this particular vehicle, you have, again, the carbon fiber track pack. So you get the exposed 20-inch wheels, and then you also get the exposed track spoiler. On the base car, you get one that's obviously a big spoiler, but you get another one that has a burning flap, and that's a handling spoiler. Kind of look at the car from this side, and I want you to look at how full the fenders are to the front. And basically what we did was we took a straight line, took it all the way to the back, and that way I can get some really good poke shape. So I get my voluptuous shape that hugs the wheel and tire, therefore giving me a beautiful front rear 3/4 stand.
Did you design this on computer, in clay? How was when you talked about that? How can you talk about the actual those days that you did that?
Well, we have 5 designers, and we all started sketching. We have thousands of sketches, everything from sketching on a 11 by 17 sketch in a pen and paper. Then the guys, after they develop their sketches and we feel like we have a theme, then we'll start putting some color and then they'll put it in Photoshop. Some guys are so proficient that they, after they got their sketch, they just go right into, well, we got a computer program called Alias, and they just start building their car, right? Being that this is an MCA and it's from the A pillar forward, we still have the rest of the car, so it's easier to put it in the computer and start managing the areas in the wheel, right? Knowing the criteria that we have to hit. This vehicle, even though it's carryover from the door back, when you look at the 350 and you look at the base car, it's a car on its own. The other thing too that I tell people, especially on the GT500, that like right through the middle, they call that a water line. It goes all the way around the car. So from that water line up, everything that's functional goes glossy black. And the reason why we did it glossy black is because the GT500 has always had this sophisticated 007, right? So he wears his tuxedo, he looks good, but at the end of the day, he'll kick your butt, right? So everything below the waterline is functional. So then that's what I call molded in color, which is a black. But if you really look good, the first layer between the rocker, the rear diffuser, and the front splitter, that has a technical grain. So it'll give you kind of a technical feel, which is kind of cool. And then when you get to like the splitter here, the wickers, die planes, those are more functional. So we try and keep the grain as least as possible, so we don't want to create drag. Mustang owners are all, they like to personalize their vehicles, whether it's color, something inside. So we, as a company, gave them more options, right? So the 500 has 11 colors. It has red hot, which is new. It has iconic silver, and I'm missing one, twister orange, which is this. And then we give them stripe, which is the competition stripe. And you have the option of getting them painted or in vinyl. If you get them painted, the closest you can go is white, black, and Kona blue. And then on the interior, obviously you have Recaro seats, you have inserts that are carbon fiber. And again, you know, it's all about personalizing the car and making it yours.
Can you talk about the roof?
Okay.
It's a black roof, so is it a glass roof?
That's an option.
It's an option, okay.
Yeah, we don't have a glass roof.
Okay.
And I wanted a shape that looked, that was going, you know, 800 miles an hour, standing still. And I think when you look at the car overall and you walk around it, it delivers that.
We thank the Ford Motor Company for their hospitality in taking us to Detroit to experience their Ford Performance team and the 2020 Mustang Cobra GT500. What a treat it was to get to see the 2020 GT500 Snake, as well as the original 1967 model, and meet a number of the Ford Performance team that worked on bringing this 2020 Mustang Cobra GT500 to reality. We look forward to getting the keys to a Mustang Cobra GT500 and try it out on the track, autocross, or just drive it on the highway. It looks like a lot of fun.